The Armed Forces Training Centre in Lucerne at the end of September 2016. More than 100 participants from all over the world attend the annual SWIRMO, the senior workshop on international rules governing military operations of the International Committee of the Red Cross, ICRC.
Well, we're marking the 10th anniversary of SWIRMO, and we have held it here before in Switzerland a few times. But for us, it's also a reflection of the strong relationship between the ICRC and Swiss Armed Forces. I mean, let's not forget we had a committee member in the early days, 150 or so years ago, General Dufour, who was himself Swiss and military. So there's a natural connection between the ICRC and the Swiss Armed Forces, and of course a natural connection between the ICRC with its seat in Geneva and the Swiss authorities and government as a whole.
High-ranking officers and ICRC delegates have travelled from 85 countries to Lucerne. Apart from expertise on humanitarian law and its practical application during military operations, the SWIRMO will also provide information on the mission of the ICRC, its significance and role in international conflicts. The SWIRMO workshop is being held in Switzerland for the 4th time, and once again, the Swiss Armed Forces are hosting the event.
In supporting SWIRMO, we actively help to spread the concept of humanitarian law, and in doing so, hopefully also foster more humanness in the conflicts of this world.
Thanks to experienced teachers from Belgium, France, Georgia, Ireland, Canada, Colombia and Switzerland, SWIRMO provides the ideal platform for a fertile exchange of ideas, where military officers and ICRC representatives from all over the world are on an equal footing. As hosts, our armed forces are responsible for all organisational issues. They are also present for the entire duration of SWIRMO, with an operations detachment consisting of 4 drivers, 3 language specialists, and an administrative staff of 4.
As soon as the event has begun, it will be the details that we will have to keep our eyes on. They begin with the transfers from and to the hotel, with the plenary events, where we must ensure that the participants arrive on time. We must also see to it that the translation process works, that the glasses are filled with water, and that the catering is good in general, which includes taking cultural aspects into account. Interaction of the many small details requires effective coordination between the teams. We must remain in full command of the situation and resolve all difficulties step by step. This gives participants the impression that things are working like a charm. That's our goal.
And everything's going like clockwork. While theoretical presentations are the focus of the first 2 days, the second part of the workshops is aimed at applying what has been learned in practice. Various scenarios are discussed in a fictional operation, and ways to resolve various cases are worked out jointly. In dealing with armed conflicts, participants are always called to strike the right middle course between humaneness and military necessity.
Well, me being a commandant of a company commander's school, so I think I have really gained much, which I'll take back home and pass it on to to my students.
And it is an opportunity to learn not only from the experience of ICRC, but from the good practices of Swiss Armed Forces, and also from the community which has gathered here. 100 officers from 85 countries is really an opportunity to interact and find out more about international humanitarian law and law of armed conflict.
At the formal dinner on the final day of the course, participants are once again given the opportunity to carry out intensive discussions with representatives of the Swiss Armed Forces and the ICRC.
Le côté positif, c'est qu'il y avait aussi des officiers suisses dans le cours.
It's positive that even Swiss officers without real mission experience attended the workshop and shared information with colleagues.
De conflits.
They were able to benefit from concrete examples and weren't limited to discussing humanitarian law only in theory.
Et ne pas seulement parler de façon théorique du droit humanitaire.
After 5 days, the 10th SWIRMO workshop on humanitarian law ends successfully. It's the ICRC's most important course, realised and conducted with the help of our armed forces as hosts.